Welcome to Around Town, featuring what's going on here in the capital area. And I'm host Dick Patton, and it's a pleasure to welcome you as we now are getting ready to go into the month of May. And yes, Mother's Day is the big one that starts off, but what comes after Mother's Day? Well, yeah, Armed Forces Day is in there, but it is fair time. And Concord welcomes back the 62nd Annual Kiwanis Spring Fair. Of course, we're so used to it, I have to say it, I am, because I'm an old timer. But I'm always used to saying the Kiwanis Trade Fair. That was what we used to look forward to when I was a kid. My folks always said, yes, we gotta go to the Kiwanis Trade Fair. And I'll never forget that, because the first one I ever went to was over at the airport, when you had it over there. And then they moved it down to the Highway Hotel, but before that it was over on, what is it, the Green Street Community Center, right?
Community Center, correct.
But no rides.
That was no rides. There was not enough room.
But over at the airport, I can remember riding a little train, that's how young I was, around the rides are on the front lawn over there, the Ferris wheel, and I did the little train.
And two huge circus tents.
Yes, they were on the runway there.
That's where the vendors had all their stuff.
Yeah, and we used to walk out there and go through the tents, and boy, you'd load up a bag of goodies, and then from there went down to the Highway Hotel, and the State Ballroom was loaded with vendors then.
There we did have rides in the parking lot.
We had rides there too. And and of course the Miss Kiwanis Fair Queens contest, and I always used to think Never's band was down there playing. Yes, because it was in June back those days. And then you moved it to May, where it stayed here now for years. But how many years you been involved with this?
This is close to 35 years.
Yeah, that's something.
Long time.
Yeah, it is, Chris. It is.
And I'm probably one of the few that went to virtually all of the spring fairs or trade fairs.
Yeah, I know.
As a little kid, I can remember riding my bike down to the community
I
center to go to the first Kiwanis spring fair.
I never went there, but it was my father and mother went over to the airport for that one. I remember walking through the
Dick, even at the community center, when you had Morrow and Everett, the gas company, the electric company, Concord Cleaners, there were so many businesses that all had a booth.
The parking must have been horrendous there, though.
Back then, a lot of people walked.
Well, that's true too. Downtown, yeah.
We didn't have the traffic, and we didn't have the.
That's true too.
No need for the parking garage.
Yeah.
The police station wasn't there then. It was the.
Well, that's right too.
The phone company.
That's right. I forgot about
where the police station is now.
Yeah, that's right too.
So there was easy access to the armory.
Boy.
And where the parking lot on Prince Street is, that's where they used to have the army trucks and the jeeps, army jeeps parked.
Wow.
Used to be a fenced-in area.
So why'd they go over to the airport? Why did they leave there to go to the airport? They wanted just to expand to include carnival rides?
I think it was a combination of they decided to have a parade back then.
Yes, that's right too.
And the parade went from Main Street, started in the south end, went north to Bridge Street.
Yeah.
Then up the hill to the airport.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. You
must have walked that area a few times.
No, never did. I remember going to the parade. My folks always made sure it was on a Thursday night, and we always went to the parade. And then, of course, we'd go to the fair on Friday night. That was the night we always went with my aunt and uncle and their kids. We all went down there, especially, of course, the Highway Hotel. And then of course, I went across the river to the Everett Arena. And that's where it still is. And of course, now you've lost all the businesses, so now it's the spring fair. But
when they moved to the Highway Hotel, Richard Morton, of course, owned it, and the Kiwanis Club used to meet in the Blue Room upstairs on the second floor.
Yeah.
floors. So that was a natural to go from the airport right down to the Highway Hotel. And you're right, that big ballroom was full.
I can remember so much going in there, and you'd hear there was an organ playing, and it was just because the State Grange had their conventions in there in October, so I knew some of the layout. Of course, John Sadley from Concord Lumber had donated a lot of lumber, they claimed, to build the stage down there and at the hotel. And I don't know, did you use the Franklin Pierce Ballroom too, or was it just the State Ballroom?
In later years they did,
yes,
because of the overflow.
Yeah.
And that was a period of time, because that convention hall used to straddle Fort Eddy Road.
Oh, yeah.
And across the street was all cornfield.
Yes, there was. Yes, there was nothing there.
Nothing. Till the Grapponi Trailer Park went in.
Yeah. And then, of course, then they built the...
Fort Eddy was a dead-end road.
J.M. Field, yes, and J.M. Fields built a department store out there where then Bradley's took it over, but it was J.M. Fields. And then Rich's built down below there where now Staples sits and Brooks A Million, but...
then they even built the grocery store, Quality Foods.
Yeah, yes.
It was sure quite a big thing for Concord to have a department store.
But you know, I can remember walking in, because again, we walked into the State Ballroom to see the exhibits first. And you always got that plastic bag or whatever it was, and somebody would give you one. And you'd go around to the booths and you get the yardsticks, pencils, pens, all kinds of paperwork, you know. And you know, it was like, and again, it was like old home day, because for many people, because it was all Concord businesses basically. You might see a few out of town. And but I can so remember Sprague Electric down there with some people showing that Beatty Electric would have a table down there showing workers doing what they do. Concord Lumber, North Steenbeck's, they'd have a display down there. Mark Manus with his clothing would be inside there.
Now, did the Grange also have a booth back then?
No, not down there, no. I was too young then. The first time we had a booth was when I was at the arena, back around about 94, 95, when I was state master. That's when we got involved.
Well, you had animals up there. And
that was the.
Was that you people?
No, that was the Merrimack County 4-H.
You're right.
Because they'd have the milk machine there, where you could have fraps on a milkshake. They'd have a little cow or a little calf in a pen, and then they'd have this machine that was making milkshakes.
That's why you wanted to be up there. First, you attracted a lot of people to that end of the arena.
Well, because we figured we're more or less like the same thing, agricultural. The 4-H and the Grange, you know, we were like, that was us, you know. And by that door, as they came in, we'd get them, you know, and we did. Oh my gosh, we gave away tree seedlings and apples, and oh my gosh, we did. We had a lot of fun down there those days. And, you know, and again, it was fun because then, like I said, you saw home businesses and those who owned them, and then all of a sudden, this home show came in and poof, they were gone. And it was sad because you lost an era. Then the parade, of course, lost because of the expenses of trying to have a parade on Main Street. You know, you had the bands were charging, and then you moved the parade to Saturday morning to draw, you know, for the Main Street people. But you know, I mean, it was sad. That was the one. We had two parades in the spring. The Kiwanis Fair Parade, and then the Memorial Day. And that's the only time you ever got to see the Rutland Junior High School band was in those parades.
The Kiwanis Fair is always the kickoff for the spring.
It was.
Things to happen in Concord.
I mean, the Kiwanis Fair was like our version of the Hopkinton Fair. You know, we claimed the first fair, you know. But they were the days. And then, of course, you had Mark Amusements out there. for a while. Grand Estate Shows was first, and I can still see the elderly lady inside the cotton candy booth there, and she was twirling around the cotton candy. She wore glasses. Had
she knew how to twirl that.
Oh, I know, didn't
candy.
she? Yeah, and she'd hand you the thing there, and didn't hear much about fried dough those days. It was mostly hot dogs, hamburgers.
That's because Kiwanis had their own food booth.
Yeah, cotton candy, popcorn, and that was about it. It wasn't until much later then all of a sudden the onion rings or the big onion or fried dough came in. The sausage grinders, that was the big thing, boy, sausage bombs. But it was such a good time, and it was a Concord event. And the Kiwanis were just so friendly, and you got to see, well, Charlie Averill, who just passed away this winter. He was a familiar sight down there. Mason Blake was down there, and
Cedric Dustin.
Yeah, Cedric Dustin, and there was another gentleman.
Tom Rutherford.
Yeah, but there was one other one who passed away around that same time of Mason Blake.
Ron Goodine.
No, there was
along with Mason Blake.
He used to maintain that park down there. You've got, I can't think. I can see his face, but I can't remember the name.
Dave Bailey was with us back then.
Yeah, but there was somebody, it wasn't it. But I know you know it, and I do too, but I can't think of his name. But
we had a lot of good members. There was a lot to be done. Dick, back then the fair was Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
That's right. Yeah.
And we had fireworks on Saturday night.
Oh yes, that was a big
10 o'clock. That was a big draw.
That was a big draw. It was, and Jane Berwick would be down there. Florence Blake.
Anita Warnock.
That's Anita Warnock. But then who was I can't.
Yvonne Wheeler.
That's it. Yes, I remember Yvonne. She'd be right down there too, boy. Yeah, it was just a great thing. And you go inside the arena or the Highway Hotel, and you'd see the WKXL or Oldies 99 in there, or some other radio station that would be broadcasting off and on there. And like I said, you'd see the Queen candidates. They'd ride in the parade, and then they'd be down to the arena walking around, and then you'd have the contest on, was it Saturday night or Friday night?
All the high schools were represented.
Yep, Concord, Brady, Hopkinton, Pittsfield, Pembroke. It was quite
as you know, just putting the parade together when you can get Miss New Hampshire, Miss Teenage, Junior Teenage.
Junior Miss, yeah.
There was such a big parade. And finding vehicles for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, God.
But it was always fun putting it together.
Yeah, it was.
And by the time we started at the Capitol Shopping Center, by the time the end of the parade let go, here came the
back end.
The front of the parade was just coming onto Store Street.
You could always hear the boom, ba boom, ba boom with the Baptist Temple Shriners, boy, and John. Oh gosh, he was from Dunbarton. I can see him too. He was the big drum major boy. He kept that band right in step.
Yeah, I can remember Phil Andrews, who was the head guy with a big baton.
Yeah. This was John. He owned an oil company in Dunbarton, but it'll come to me one of these days. But it was a great time. And then the year that I was honored as Citizen of the Year, and I rode in that vehicle, and thunder shower come up, and lightning, and everybody scattered. I'll never forget that. Oh,
but the parade went on.
Parade went on. We went through it, but oh my gosh, that thunder and lightning,
umbrellas and all.
Yeah.
The band played on.
Oh well, yeah, they played on, but boy, I tell you, but that was Concord's big time to shine. Because that was it. That was Concord's big time. The fair was coming to Concord. The rides and...
When we had the Thursday night parade, it was always at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
And the idea to move it to Saturday morning, when we met with Main Street Concord at DCI at the time.
Yeah.
And they were all in favor of a Saturday morning parade, because it would bring that many more people. And we also had the more Little League teams, Babe Ruth teams.
Yep.
They wouldn't play Saturday morning.
Nope.
They'd all take part in the parade.
Sure. But it was a great time, and oh my, us kids, we couldn't wait to see what rides were being set up. We always knew the merry-go-round and the Ferris wheel were there, or now they call it the carousel, but anyway, we used to call it merry-go-round. Then we'd see the swings, and then they disappeared for years. Now they're back in as the flying chairs or something. But then you had the kiddie rides and
the zipper.
Now the zipper. Now you then you had some fun houses. You had the flying bobs, or the Himalaya. That was another big ride. And of course now they got the tilt-a-whirl, the scrambler. And then they've got
Dick, you got them all down pat.
Oh, I'm telling you.
You probably missed a few too.
Oh yeah, I did. The paratrooper was there one time. Then you got this other one that goes. It's a big thing that goes around, and it goes. Oh, I thought, how they ever do that? You know, but you know, I mean,
they are big.
Yes.
We used to love to ride those, but at our age, we sort of got away from.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't get on them now, but I used to love. Oh my gosh, the tilt-a-whirl. Even my mother used to love to go on them, but the tilt-a-whirl was one of my favorites. The scrambler was okay, but you know but those were the days. And gosh, you had to have a candy apple. That was my favorite, a candy apple. My teeth didn't take too good, but it was always a candy apple. Remember that?
Well, I acquired more of a taste for the sausage bone.
Oh yeah, I did too. But
with lots of peppers and onions.
Yeah, and then the people realize, of course, that the fair is a lot of work for you folks, and boy, I'll tell you, it's like with the Christmas parade. You've got to have the help. If you don't, and now you've got to have people to line the streets for the parade, because if you don't, you get charged X amount of dollars. And
for a police officer.
Yep. And last year, for the parade, we had to guarantee 20 volunteers, and the police wanted their cell phone numbers, because if they weren't there, they were going to call them, and then we'd get charged. But it was just a grand time in the spring. It really brought this. We knew the spring was there, and I still can remember in 2001, as I was working part-time at Pittsfield after I'd left them, and that Saturday morning, it snowed all morning, and I came down in the afternoon, sat in a ticket booth with somebody, and we had a little pot fire in there or something, and oh my God, was it cold. And they decided to shut it down because there was
nobody was there.
Nobody was there, and even though the sun came out, the snow did all morning. But so we lost the fireworks, lost everything else. But
we had sleet, freezing rain.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was not a good scene.
No, it wasn't
for the fair.
But I've always said I miss having those booths inside, but that home show that comes in a month earlier killed it.
Certainly did.
It killed it. And of course now a lot of the local merchants that used to be down there are either have died or they don't do it.
The home show now is virtually all out-of-towners.
Yep, it is. And it's all these water things and air conditioning things or whatever, but you don't see what we used to have. But it was a great time. It really was, the fair.
Well, the good part is we've extended to Sundays, which has been quite a while now.
Yeah.
And we still have the wristbands.
Yeah.
So ride all day.
Yeah.
But the Sunday definitely helped us.
And you got the roller derby Saturday afternoon. It was a Saturday night.
Saturday night, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. And
they are the Bay State Brawlers.
Oh, brother.
The Brawler Punishers.
The All-Stars versus that, huh?
But we are May 18th through the 21st.
Yeah.
Thursday through Sunday.
Thursday and Friday, 5 o'clock till when, Chris? Till
11.
Till 11. Saturday and Sunday, noon till
11.
Saturday 11. What about Sunday? Noon to 6?
6.
Yeah. But what's good though is that I don't think people still don't realize all the proceeds from that fair go right back into the community through scholarships and
every dollar.
Yeah. I mean, boy, Camp Spalding. Do you still do Camp Spalding up there too?
Yes.
Okay, you support that. You're supporting the food program, the Christmas parade with the band, the tree lighting with a donation. I mean, the Kiwanis has done so much in this city. And I've said this many, many times, and I'll say it again. That riverfront park that you have adopted down there behind the arena is one of the most beautiful places that it's a beautiful gift that you've given to the city.
It's a good spot. Tom Rutherford was down there with his backhoe.
Yeah.
Cleared out all the trees.
Oh, I know it.
The stumps.
And they'd be down there raking the leaves and picking up the trash, Mason and Chuck Wood and...
Charlie Averill with Cedric Dustin.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of time, and it's a great place. You certainly see a lot of people there at noontime. Having lunch, just being by the river.
It's a beautiful area down there. I said, Chris, it's the nicest gift that the Kiwanis have given the city. And then I remember seeing you and Chuck Averill on either Thursday morning or Wednesday, going around Loudon Road with that yellow tape with sticks to keep the people out to be crossing the road and stuff. And I thought, God, those guys are just so dedicated doing that, you know?
Isn't it great also to see the crew team? What a building down there.
Yeah.
To see high school kids being involved in the river.
Yeah, I know it.
You know, that river is now a clean river compared to what it was.
Remember how it was so polluted? Oh my!
One of the worst
God,
in the country.
It stunk. It did. It was. It was terrible.
Now one of the cleanest.
It is. Now it's clean, and boy, you can't get over it. But yeah, it was the most polluted river, and the waste was going in there like crazy.
Well, unfortunately, I don't see our parade coming back.
I have thought, you know, Chris, I have thought that I would love to try to organize that for you because I miss that parade, but it comes down to the money. That's the thing.
The money and manpower.
Yeah. Well, manpower, I think I could probably get some of my guys from the Christmas parade to help you out, but you know, but the money, the police department, you've got to pretty much figure around $1,500, $1,600, depending which route you're using. And then you've got the bands, if you want Backdash Temple, Concord High, Runlet, those three there would be probably the ones you'd use. You might get Merrimack Valley, they might march in the spring. But, you know, it'd be so wonderful to see that.
Yeah, 2 years in a row we had the muchachos from
Manchester. Yeah.
Real highly cracked precision.
Yeah,
and they were good. Expensive.
Oh yes, and we had Club Alpine before that in our parade, but then the muchachos who'd been defunct came back and took most of their members. But who else did we have? We used to have, well, I'm trying to think of what other bands. Bow High School, because they don't march anymore. But you know, it'd be nice to see that come back. You know, and I wish we could.
We do have lots of area high schools where that could happen.
How old is the Kiwanis now? They're up to what, 100 years old yet, or no?
No, 85.
Well, I thought they were in the 90s.
90. Let's see, they started in 1924, Dick. So actually, they're 90.
Yeah, they're
90
around
plus years.
Yeah, maybe what we could do is to run the 100th anniversary of a parade, because that would be good to bring that back. You know, either whether you have it on Main Street to cross over to the arena, or somehow form it to get over there, or just plain have it on Main Street and that'd be it, and then not go over across to the arena, or the motorized units go over there.
Well, you are right, but besides the Kiwanis Fair and the Memorial Day Parade, it used to be a very large parade.
Oh, yes.
With National Guard units.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Memorial Day's nothing now.
Track vehicles, a lot of the veterans, and it's, unfortunately, it's pretty well gone by.
And Ben Green, we presented him with a Lifetime Achievement Award last night. He is now the band director of Bishop Brady, so he's hoping to get them marching in a couple of years.
Good.
So, but I know the time's going fast, and but don't forget, if you're planning also, Chris is also getting ready for his 32nd annual Antique and Classic Car Show on Saturday, September 9th from 9 to 3 at the Tech School. But he'll be back on in probably mid-July to talk about that one. But
that's so far away, but yet so near.
I know. But right now you plan on May 18th to the 21st for the 62nd Annual Concord Kiwanis Fair. And it's at the Everett Arena on Loudon Road. And for Pete's sakes, do not be crossing just anywhere. Safety first. Cross where the traffic lights, or if there's a police officer, cross there. Just don't run across any way you feel like it, because there's a lot of accidents could happen there.
And just a reminder, Dick, a lot of the Concord merchants have $5 coupons.
Yeah, for rides.
So make sure you pick up a $5 coupon, good off the price of a wristband.
And Sunday's Family Day, right?
Yes.
So
yes, all day.
Ride for one thing, yeah.
All the Grammys and Grandpas and all the kids. It's a great day for the kids. It's so great to see them down there.
Stand there and relive the days when we rode the rides.
Who would have thought that the Kiwanis Fair would be in its 62nd year?
Well, the Christmas parade's 66th year this year. So, I mean, it's getting up there.
There's a few of us that just keep on going.
Yeah, like Tom Hughes said one time, we're like antiques. When we were he was on the show one time about the car show. He said, we're like antiques. But but anyway, good luck with the fair, Chris, and all of the Kiwanis members. A big thank you, and look forward to seeing you at the arena. We look forward to seeing you at the Everett Arena on May 18th to the 21st. So be down there and help out a good cause. So with that in mind, thank you, Chris Pappas, for all you do.
Thank you, Dick.
And we look forward to seeing. Thank you to my director, Ian Marx, and we hope we'll see you all soon. I'm your host, Dick Patton.